guys, it's Jo from Daisy. Today I'm going to be setting up a perimenopause tracker in my brand new bullet journal for the second part of 2023. If you're new to the channel, Daisy is a UK based company and we sell bullet journaling supplies specialising in stencils, but we also make a load of other things including stickers, washi tape, and the actual journal that I'm using today. Now this spread was actually something that I created on our YouTube channel as part of our monthly Plan With Me session, and I loved it so much that I thought it deserved an actual edited video with a voiceover, and I've cut out all of the extra bits where I'm answering questions and things. So excuse the poor video quality if it's not great. It's because it's been uploaded to YouTube and then downloaded and edited, but it's a great spread, so it's well worth a watch through. So the spread itself, I'm creating a Dutch door. I'm using our monthly subscription box with the theme Bite Me, which is a little shark called Sharkus. It's all shark themed goodies, and I thought it worked really well for a kind of period or menopause tracker just because of the vibe that it gave off, really. So I've cut across the page to create my Dutch door. I'm going to be doing a tracker for the remainder of the year, so May through to December. And I'm just decorating across the top of the cut line with the Bite Me washi tape. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take that washi tape and I'm going to roll it along the cut edge of the Dutch door. You'll see when I created that Dutch door, I didn't cut the section away. I actually stuck the piece down onto the page behind. This really helps to make sure that you don't end up with a weakened spine, but it also means that the depth of the whole page is exactly the same. So when you go on to the next double page spread, you've got a dip where you've removed part of the page. So going along the cut edge with that washi tape, just for me, adds a bit of structure, but also decorates the cut edge so it's nice and tidy, and it's an excuse to use washi tape. I don't need much of an excuse to add washi tapes to my journal, but I really like this shark design. I think it's really cute. So that's the Dutch door structure created. Now I need to add the sections where I'm going to track any symptoms and what's going on in terms of perimenopause things. You could also use this as a period tracker or a health tracker. There's loads of different ways that you could use this spread. So I'm using our vertical numbers washi tape just to add in the numbers 1 to 30 or 1 to 31 for each month. I'm starting from May, which is the month that I'm creating it, just so that I can backdate the symptoms that I've had this month. And then I'm using our Be Awesome days and dates stickers to add the months to the top of each of the sections. Again, just making it really quick by using stickers and washi tape, really. So this tracker will actually include 8 months. So I'm starting with May 2023 and I'll go right through until the end of 2023. I am going to backdate this month's symptoms just because I've had a couple of migraines and a couple of things going on that I want to keep track of. So that's why I'm including May, even though it's the end of May now when I'm setting it up. And I need to think about a way that I'm going to track those symptoms. I want room so that I can write down notes. So if I've had a migraine, what was I doing the day before? What did I eat? See if I can find any patterns in what's happening. But I also want a place where I can put a key to kind of track when I've taken certain medications or what symptoms I'm having. So I'm going to add in 2 different ways to track within this tracker once I've got all of the days and dates set up. So if you've been following the channel, you may have watched this live stream. I did get diagnosed as being perimenopausal last year after a period of having various really vague symptoms, and I spent a long time kind of wondering whether I should mention it as part of the planning that I'm doing, whether I should just keep it to myself. And I decided that it's worth kind of mentioning it, just because if I'd have been more aware of how vague the symptoms could be, maybe I would have got a diagnosis sooner. Maybe I wouldn't have spent so long wondering if there was something else going on with me. So the symptoms that I was experiencing were nausea, very itchy skin, a change to my monthly cycle. It actually got slightly shorter rather than longer in between. I was suffering from a lot of sort of waves of anxiety that I hadn't really experienced before, and headaches, insomnia, in that I would wake up at kind of 3 o'clock in the morning and not be able to get back to sleep. So very vague and non-connected things. And when I spoke to the doctor, luckily I saw a great doctor who recognised that this might be what was going on, and she got me started on HRT, and I saw a massive improvement really quickly. So I was very lucky. I have seen medical professionals since for kind of rechecks who have been very quick to say, you're young to be on HRT. Are you sure that's what's going on? And I'm really glad that I saw the doctor that I did when I did, because I think if I'd have seen any of those doctors, I probably wouldn't have been put on treatment, and I probably wouldn't have seen the improvement that I have. So definitely, if you are experiencing any vague symptoms that don't seem to add up to anything, then just educate yourself, really. 43 isn't young to be experiencing symptoms of the perimenopause. Actually, it's kind of spot on in terms of what the research says. And actually, HRT is incredibly safe. And there's actually some real benefits to starting when you see your symptoms, not just that you feel better, but also improved bone density, less risk of heart disease, less risk of dementia in old age. So I'll get off my soapbox now and get back to planning. I'm going to put a header in, and I am using the Blossom 5cm font stencil, which was actually a VIP exclusive stencil, just to write "Bite Me" across the top. I love the Blossom font. It's what I'm using for the entire of my journal setup. So all of the beginning pages are going to be linked together by using the same font in the same colorway, just to make it feel cohesive, even if I'm doing slightly different themes around it. And you'll be able to see the other journal spreads that I've created as the start of this journal. If you hop over to our YouTube playlist, I've created a playlist just for the 2023 part 2 setup, so you can go watch them all there. I'm creating a future log and some other trackers within the beginning of the journal. So yeah, definitely give us a follow and go watch those other videos. We try in general to keep the videos to kind of less than an hour, generally around half an hour. So they're nice, easy, bite-size watches, and hopefully get a little bit of inspiration and maybe think of different ways of doing things. Here's me just adding in the centres of those letters. I'm going to put an exclamation mark, and then I can go on and add some cute things to the spread. So while I carry on creating that header, it's probably a good time for me to introduce what our VIP squad is. I mentioned that the stencil that I'm using there is a VIP exclusive stencil. The Daisy VIP is a membership club. It starts at £3 per month for the bronze level, but goes up to £15 a month for the gold level. As a VIP, you get access to all of our digital printables totally free of charge. So there is a ton of stuff on our website that you can download for free. You also get access to our monthly masterclass, which is VIP only, and that's by live YouTube stream once a month. If you are a silver or a gold VIP, then you also get a monthly stencil sent to you. It includes postage. You also get access to our VIP zone on our website, our VIP blog, and our VIP shop, which has got a load of exclusive products in there, including the back catalogue of stencils. So if you see something you like, you can join as a bronze member and just buy the VIP stencils that you want, as and when you want them. Or if you subscribe and become a silver or gold member, then you get those stencils automatically sent through to you. It is a really, really fun membership. Everyone that's included, I'm so proud of the community that we've created. They are super encouraging of each other. We've got a really nice Facebook group as well as the zone on our website. and everyone just helps each other out. It's such a nice community for journaling. No drama, just a really friendly vibes. So yeah, if you're into journaling and you want a bit of extra content, definitely check out the VIP squad, and I will drop the link in the description below this video in case you want to find out a little bit more. So what I've been doing while I'm chatting is creating a little Sharkus. Sharkus is our shark here from our monthly subscription box, using the monthly subscription box stencils. That subscription is separate to our VIP. That is our monthly journaling subscription, and every month you get stickers, washi tape, stencils, all sent through the post to you with a different theme each month. Again, I will drop the details in the description below so you're not bombarded with facts while I am discussing it. But Sharkus was our most recent box, and I love it. It's been very popular. I think there's loads of ways that we can use Sharkus in our journal. Definitely this was the one that jumped out to me the most, and it also coincides with Shark Week 2023. So what I want to create next is a key, and I think I'm going to need a little bit more room than the room that I've left on the side of the page. So I'm going to do a little flip out key so that I've got an area where I can write different things, different symptoms, different things I'm tracking, and make it like a cute little fold out section. So I'm just checking here how much room I've got, what I can do, and then I'm going to take that little piece of paper that I've cut out of a dot grid pad that we have, just make it the right size, and then figure out how I'm going to decorate the front of that. So what I decided to do was have the dot grid on the front so that it kind of matches the background, and then I'm going to pop the word key across the middle of it, draw a little frame. I'm going to use one of our stickers, I think, to decorate, which is what I'm just checking the sizing here, just to add it to the theme and make it all cohesive. So I'm using the Blossom lowercase font, which is actually a stencil from our main shop. It's one of my favourite fonts. It's a recent one, but it's definitely one of my faves. It's actually the font we've used as part of Be Awesome, but it's one we have on a number of different ranges. It's quite fun in that it doesn't need to be exactly lined up. It kind of works. It's playful, but it also works for kind of more serious things. It's a really flexible font. I like that I can use it for lots of different things. So I've created that key, and now I'm going to add a little border around. So just using the edge of the stencil as a ruler, just to draw a little square around it so that you can see what that little flap out piece is, an add-on piece, and it makes it stand out a little bit once I've got that stuck on. So I'm just doing the border probably about 2-3 millimeters in from the edge of that piece of paper all the way around. I will then colour in the word key so that it is a black font, which will match everything else that I'm doing. In the beginning of my journal, it's all Blossom font coloured in black. Let's add my little shark character. More Sharkus is needed. And then there's actually some little bubbles that I'm going to have coming up out of Sharkus, just as a little bit of extra decoration. I definitely need to get some tweezers because it's very difficult placing small stickers when you have long nails. I'm finding, or placing them in the right place. So I'm just colouring in the word key. I am actually going to fill in that key a bit later, not live on the video, just because I need to think about what I need to track and create a kind of key that works for me. But I think it's going to be something to do with one key for tracking my period, another key for tracking my HRT, and a third for tracking any additional symptoms, so headaches, itchiness, nausea, that kind of thing. So I'm going to have three rows of boxes, which we'll see in a second, and then I'll have room for writing additional information. I've just popped out the blossom gonk there. I think I was showing someone on the live stream. And I've obviously forgot to cut that out of the video, so apologies for that. But you got a little sneak peek of baggage. So I'm just going to finish colouring in this header, and then it's going to be all about attaching that to the page. So as you can see, it fits really nicely into that little square that I've left. I'm going to just use a little strip of the Sharkus washi tape just to attach it on the reverse side, so you won't see the washi tape from the external side of the spread, but you'll just see a little bit when you open it up. So I'm just figuring out here how to add it on. Just halfway across that piece, cutting off the excess, and then I just need to line that up on the edge of the page, just carefully so that it's right on the edge, and then I'll be able to fold that over, and there's my key. How cute's that? Little flap out section where I'll have all of my key included. So I really like how this journal spread's turned out so far. I'll give myself a little clap there. Grabbed my coloured pencils, and I'm going to colour in Sharkus with colour pencil. I always forget that I really like colouring with coloured pencils. I think it gives a really nice effect. It takes a little bit longer than pen, but yeah, I like it. I think I prefer it to colouring with big blocks of colour with pen. You always get those kind of like really overlapped lines. It just looks a bit harsh with pen. So I'm just testing out the colours to see what colours Sharkus should be, and I've got a nice blue and a nice red for his mouth. My Sharkus drawing doesn't have any teeth, so he's a bit of a gummy shark, but that's okay. He's a friendly gummy shark. See, I just drop pencil shavings all over my spread. I think I need to get myself a new pencil sharpener. I actually have a new pencil sharpener in my bag of goodies from the stationery show. I'm not sure whether I should do a little unboxing of the freebies that I got from the stationery show and show you around them. But yeah, I got a lovely pencil sharpener, but it's in a bag at work, so I'm using my old one, which has just broken the lead on my pencils. So I've just corrected what I've done, and then I'm going to colour in Sharkus with a nice kind of like, almost a petrol blue, not quite as dark as that, for the outside, leaving his little face and tummy in white, and then colouring his mouth in red. He's such a cute shark. Kate did such a good job with him. We love him. We really hope that he's going to be a popular box. We kind of have this thing at Oops a Daisy that generally the characters that Kate and I like the most are the ones that are the least popular with the customers, and vice versa. So we absolutely loved a camel that we created called Humphrey, and he was widely the least popular of the subscription boxes of that year. Yeah, it's just one of those things. I think we have slightly off the wall tastes, but hopefully Shark will be universally popular because he is so damn cute. I don't think anyone could not like him, and I also think that he's very usable for lots of different themes, so that's what I like in a subscription box. We're always kind of thinking something that would make a good standalone theme for like a month, but also something that you could use for other things, so that you haven't got a big roll of washi tape that you're only going to use for 1 month and then never touch again. So Sharkus, I think, works for that. I think we've done quite a few other themes that work in that way. Our Pixels box was a really nice patterned washi tape, and you could do like a really heavy on the kind of 80s gaming vibes for a theme, but also just as a decorative washi tape, it's really cute. So yeah, that's always what we're trying to achieve when we put together the monthly boxes. So if you come up with any good themes, please do drop your thoughts in the comments, because it's always good to have some inspiration. We do try to do things that are a little bit different to stuff that's been done a lot. There's lots of themes that we get requested that the market is so saturated for washi tapes with certain themes that we kind of want to do other things that haven't been done before. So yeah, that is our aim, but obviously sometimes we do have to lean into the popular stuff because they're just so in demand. So I'm just going to colour in, the main title. So I'm using a Koi brush pen in black to colour in this. I find it is a really nice pen for colouring my chunky headers, just a bit quicker than colouring it with a fine liner. Where there are areas where it's kind of a tight corner, I will just go in with the fine liner and just make it a bit crisper. But in general, when I'm colouring headers, the Koi brush pen is what I reach to. They are by a company called Raw Talons, who also make the Pigma Micron, which is the other pen that I use as my fine liner, my go-to fine liner. They also make jelly roll pens, which are really popular in the world of journaling. So they are a company that is very well known in the journaling world, but their brush pens perhaps a bit less so. But I really like them. I like how this header's looking. This whole page is so good. And my nails match. Ultimate goals when your nails match your journal spread. So I'm just thinking now how I'm going to add in the boxes for the rest of the tracker. But I'm going to finish my header first of all. And then once I've got that, I'll add in those boxes. And at the very end, I'll show you how I have pulled it all together to use it as a monthly tracker. Something I'm really trying to do with this new journal setup is to only create spreads that I think are going to be useful and that I'm actually going to use. I think is a really easy trap to fall into, to get really enthusiastic when you're setting up your journal and set up loads of trackers, loads of kind of goal spreads. And basically it all just gets left and you carry on into your journal and just do your kind of day-to-day journaling. So I'm trying to be really mindful of what I add to my journal needs to be not only pretty but also functional, and more so functional. So these pretty spreads at the beginning, I'm then going to follow up with my monthly spread, and I'm not going to do weeklies for a little bit, and I'm going to see how that works out for me, just doing rapid logging on a daily basis. I think it's probably going to be better for me for right now. I'm just finding the weekly spreads a little bit redundant. So yeah, my whole kind of ethos with this journal setup is going back to basics with my journaling and actually creating stuff that I know I'm going to use. Once I've set up all of these beginning spreads, I will do a flick through of kind of the completed setup, just so that everyone can see it all together, because I'm creating the spreads individually in videos. So it will just help for you to see the whole thing in one. So now I've got my header done, I'm just going to add in my boxes for tracking. And as I said earlier, I'm going to make 3 columns. First one is for period tracking, second one is for medication tracking, and third one is for symptom tracking. And they will be based on the key that is behind that little fold out door. And then there's area next to those columns where I can add in any notes. So if I happen to be somewhere particular, or if I've eaten something, or something else was going on, so that I can kind of tally whether any of the things that I'm seeing are linked to each other or to something else externally that might be happening. So I'm just going through and adding those boxes in now. I am doing it in pencil just because otherwise I feel like it's going to be too kind of domineering to the page. And I also didn't really know whether this was going to work, so I'm penciling it in. I'll try it for the month of May, which is the first month on the tracker, and if it doesn't work, I can always erase those columns and do something different. I think the ability to kind of flex and change is one of the biggest benefits of the bullet journal system, and not just having to work with something that someone else has created. Has to work for you. So if this tracker is not something you would use, don't add it to your journal. That's really like the biggest message. Just because you see someone doing something online doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. I see lots of beautiful trackers, and I just know that I'm really rubbish at keeping trackers, so it has to be one that is going to be useful for me to use it. And I think this will be useful, hence why I've added it into my journal. This ruler, by the way, was something that we included in our 2023 12 Days of Planning Advent calendar. And it's been probably the thing that we have made that I have used the most. I use it constantly. I use it for journal spread setup because it's got the calendar on it and I can see what day is what. But I also use it as a ruler and it is in my journal all the time. So yeah, it's nice when things end up being functional beyond what you expected. And this is definitely something I think we'll make again next year. It's a really, really handy tool. Okay, so last set of columns, and then I think it's time for me to show you a little flick through of what I've created. So here is the final spread. I'm so happy with how it's turned out. We've got our header in the blossom font and with my little shark. We've got our key hiding behind the little window. All of the months laid out below. What you can see is that I've added in horizontal lines just to mark the end of each calendar week, just so that visually it's a little easier for me to see what dates are where. And then all of the others. And then I've started to use May already. I've got a track of when I was on my period and when I've taken my HRT and any other symptoms and notes. I think it's going to be a really usable spread. I hope you've enjoyed the setup. I hope you find it useful to you. Please pop a note in the comments below if you're going to add something similar to your journal. I'd love to know. And don't forget to hit subscribe. It means we can carry on creating the content that we want to create for you guys. So enjoy. Take care.